Delaney.
And it's Katie, and this is Classically Black Podcast,
where we talk all things classical music and being black in the profession.
With trap beats playing in the background. Hey, girl.
Okay. Hey, sister.
It's been a minute.
It has. Because
like,
we recorded the last couple episodes. I don't know if people know that, but...
like a month ago.
Yeah. So you're like, hey, sis. I was like, hi.
Right. It's like, I don't even know how to, like... I be forgetting my lines. It's literally my name.
All right. Hey, y'all. It's...
Wait. Start again. Dang. And y'all, we got a new setup, but pray for us.
Right. Mostly because, neither of us is really that tech savvy. So,
if you're listening to this right now, it's the grace of God.
Right.
Let's just put it that way. If this
how many times stuff has like happened and we'd be like, oh, but is it on though? And then we'd be like, oh wait. Like, listen, the recording. Did you press the record button?
Like, y'all, listen, if it's June 10th and you hear my voice,
all
hey,
right.
God is faithful.
Rejoice.
Oh my God. How you been, girl?
All right. Yeah, because we haven't spoken though since we last
recorded.
I mean,
we talk, but like, we're not stressed no more. Well, stressed within reason.
Right. So, I still haven't started working yet since the last time we recorded. So by the time this comes out, I will have. Actually, by the time when this comes out, I'll be in the mountains with probably no cell service, with a bunch of children. So,
dang, I ain't know you was numbering your days. That's crazy, dog.
It's gonna be. I'll be at camp. It's gonna be fun.
I'll be at camp. Yo, I watched this movie on Netflix. What was it called? Some hashtag something. It was definitely a kids movie, and I started getting annoyed, and I was like, "This is a teenager's movie," and something traumatic happened to her at camp. Like, okay, what is it freaking called? It's about this girl who, like, she ends up winning over the jock at school, and then the girlfriend got jealous. What is it called?
Oh, is it like Reality High?
Yeah.
I think I started watching that and then I turned it off because
it's dumb. I'm like, I'm an entire adult. That's why it's dumb. I was like, when she started changing herself because she got new friends and they were her fake friends. I was like, sis, what are you doing? And I'm like,
I was like, people actually do this stuff. That's why I turned it off. Also, this is annoying.
But I was kind of
annoying. I can't influence her decisions.
Yeah, I was like, sis, for real? And then I was like, oh right, you're 17. Well, in reality, you're probably like. Yeah. Also, like, I was kind of like annoyed. I'm like, this is not how high school goes at all.
That's my issue with movies like that. I'm like, I swear I did not act like this, and I don't know anybody who did. So,
and like, I know there's people wilding in high school, but like, y'all really went to a public beach to drink and smoke weed and do coke? Really? Like, come on. But I did appreciate the black leads.
Mm-hmm.
Why did I bring that up? There was a reason that I brought that up. Dang it.
I don't know.
But anyway, I mean, if you want to watch it, you can. I don't know. It was fine, I guess. I brought it up for a reason. Oh well, it'll come to me in the middle of another segment. Right. Don't worry, I'll tell you.
Tangent.
Don't worry, I'll tell you when it comes, like a child.
All right.
Anyway, you got news this week?
So, first piece of news,
I'm mad you holding this mic like Oprah Winfrey. Welcome to your show.
Are you done? You finished or are you done? You asked me for the news, and then you interrupt the news. Which one? No, I'm just kidding.
You see what I deal with, y'all? Like, Delaney's trash, high key.
You're the one who called me Oprah Winfrey for holding them. You want me to put the mic down? Okay, me type in my segment.
What's the news?
Dude, you interrupted me, and then you mad me. But we done pulled over now and we put it in park. What else? No, I'm just kidding.
Right, look at you. Go ahead, Oprah, do your thing, girl.
All right. Anyway, news this week. So our friend Garrett McQueen.
Hey, Garrett.
Right. Shout out to Garrett.
Gang. Garrett, Memphis, 901, stand up. But now he in Minnesota. I don't know the area code, so I'll get back to you.
All right, now get back. So he recently announced the launch of his own podcast called Trilloquy, True and Real Stories from the Fringes of Classical Music.
Come on, Fringe.
Right. Garrett co-hosts this podcast with his co-host and producer Scott Blankenship.
Hey, Scott.
And all right, it didn't have to be that dry.
He listened. You said what?
it was so dry.
Hey,
like,
Scott.
Hey, Garrett, and then you're like, hey, Scott.
I know
Greetings. Salutations. Man, we both said it.
I know Garrett. Hey, Scott. Stand
All
up.
right.
Wherever you from. I don't know where you from, but hey. That better? Dang. I don't know Scott. I'll meet him someday.
All right. Anyway. So I've listened to every episode. It's lit. They're gathering folks. Garrett is about it.
Garrett's about it. I stand. I stand.
Some of the stuff he been saying, I'm like, oh, and he got a network too. I'm like, dang, you got people to answer to.
Answer to whom? About the truth? You know, you might say with a little less, finesse, but man, Garrett, do your thing. Keep inspiring the masses.
Right, exactly. And let's not forget that the intro to the podcast is a beautiful bassoon line played by Garrett himself.
I knew when I heard it, I was like, I know he didn't.
I'm like, yo, in the art for their logo is dope.
Right.
Everything about it. And of course, Opus 2, which is their second episode, features Katie and her assistant Delaney.
You're trash. Like you just are.
We have a conversation with Garrett about code switching and cancel culture. So at Wagner. I'm gonna
please let us know when y'all done with him.
And I'm gonna link their website where you can stream on trilloquy.org, but it's also available on anywhere that you listen to Classically Black.
Period.
So once you turn us off, turn them on. It's perfect because we air on Mondays, and then on Thursdays you can just
it's like your week is rounded out. Oh, and he come on the same day as the read, so you can start your day with Trilloquy. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And then end your day with the read.
The trifecta.
Period.
Speakers.
Now you need to
pick us up.
You're welcome.
Right. I just realized all of my news is good this week. That's good.
Wow.
Because
in America?
Wasn't it last week?
Ain't none of this news. Ain't none of the news from America, is it?
All right, it is. But it's not like typical American. It's classical,
Oh,
so like if it were just like news period, then of course it would be terrible news.
But that's not that kind of podcast. But
yeah, exactly.
I
feel like it's a little bit easier for us to weed out the bad.
What is that? What is that? Spike Lee movie? I own it. It's over there.
Do the Right Thing.
And no, it's the one the Greek one. What is it called? Dang, it's kind of like it kind of showcases like fraternities and sororities. I have to look it up.
I don't know.
And at the end of the movie, the dude runs out, he rings the bell, and he's like, "Wake up! Wake!"
Oh.
Dang, what is it called? Okay, where they get Chirac from? See, this is why I don't really mess with Google.
It's not Chirac.
Okay, no, this is like early, like late 90s.
Early late 90s.
Okay, so you know what? This podcast is over. I did my best. I honestly did my best. School days.
What year is that? What year? What's the year range?
I meant
for early late 90s.
You suck. Let it go. Let it go. Let it go.
But I guess that would make it late because it's early plus late, but that would make it
let it
another
go.
Late.
Let it go.
So it's
I meant late. I meant early 90s, late 80s, but it was 1988.
Where's the second late come from?
Shut up. It was school days, and at the end, the dude ran. He was like, "Wake up!" And he was ringing the bell. That's what the artists do in America. That was this whole tangent was for that. Like y'all, wake up!
this whole thing.
Well, it would have been fast if I remembered the title. That's where I got messed up. Mm-hmm. That's where I messed up.
Okay. Well, early late last week.
You're trash. Like you honestly, I can't do. Who wants to? Who's gonna apply? Vina, come do this. I can't. I don't want to do this anymore. I don't. It's not worth it.
Opera singer Babatunde Akimboboye, who was famous for the video of him singing, I forgot which aria, but to the
Figaro.
Yeah,
Figaro.
right.
Wait,
Okay,
I'm mad I
well.
missed that note. Just like Don Juan, huh?
All right. He was singing that to the beat of Humble by Kendrick Lamar. Well, he's since released his hip opera EP, which, you know, I was waiting on that. Because,
you've been waiting on that.
Right. So, I'm gonna put the link for y'all could buy that. The cover is awesome. It's him in a tux in front of like this wall with all this graffiti. It's like really colorful. It's called Della, which, you know, I'm saying it all ratchet. Della, but it's
Period.
But I'm also gonna link his Facebook page, his artist page, because he also has a couple of videos up about like why he named it that and like the process, and so you guys could take a look at that. The last one on there, it slaps. I listened to it, of course, because, you know, I was anticipating. So congrats to him on that. I'm so glad that he got that done, because that was something that he wasn't even planning on doing. Like, it was really unexpected for that to even blow up the way that it did. Because, you know, I had it on repeat, so half the views are from me. So congrats to him.
Congrats.
And last but not least, these news things are just turning into Black excellence, honestly, because I mean, there's just not enough weeks to go through.
It's not.
Everyone. I mean, recently the Imani Winds received the Concert Artists Guild's inaugural Innovation Award.
Hey, Monica.
All right. Yeah, a couple months ago we met Monica Ellis. Which
I don't know, the days just be blending together. It could have been last week's for all of
right. It definitely wasn't. But oh, you know what? Maybe it was late last week.
All right, thanks for listening to Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media. Actually, you know what? Unfollow because it's over. I'm literally. I don't want to do this. I have no desire. Goodbye,
sister. Anyway,
not anyway. People should do a tally of how many times this podcast has ended on the air.
That's true.
It has to be at least 10.
All right, we got a compilation of just us saying.
You know what?
That would take so much time.
You know what that reminded me of?
What?
You listen to the episode of The Read when that dude was watching porn and his girlfriend came in and he was like, oh no, babe, it's a compilation video.
I don't remember this. I don't know what you're laughing at. No.
Oh my God. Okay, I gotta find it. I'm gonna find it and I'm gonna send it to you. That. Never mind. This is not that kind of episode. Okay. Continue. I'm so sorry.
Ooh,
that's like one of the. That's like. It's definitely one of the top 5 read letters. Maybe not second to Smell and Taste, but like maybe like number 4.
Oh goodness.
It's a compilation video. I can't even say what I want to say. Go ahead. Anyway, you said, what were you saying?
So this Innovation Award was eligible to Concert Artists Guild roster artists and alumni, and it's a $5,000 award that's given annually to an artist or ensemble with an outstanding proposal for a distinctive project. The Imani Winds has they won the Concert Artists Guild competition in 2001, which is why they were eligible. And their project that they won for was, or rather is, the creation of a powerful work for wind quintet in steel pans by composer Andy Akio, which is designed for performance not only on the concert stage but also outside of detention centers. They also provided a quote from Toyin Spellman Diaz, who's their oboist. And she said that when they decided to work with Andy Akio, they knew that they had a special kind of alchemy that had the potential to create something larger than the sum of its parts. And that this composer's music has a lot of power and what's this word right here?
See?
Universality.
One of Isaiah's type words.
And if there were ever a place for something positive needed, where something positive needed to be heard, everyone will be at its centers, and that they will do their best to have this music making provide strength, compassion, and love to all who hear it. So, no surprise that they won. They're awesome, black, and excellent. Except for, well, okay, never mind. I'm not gonna say that.
And out.
No, it's just that Imani, you know, they
yeah,
talked about
one
of them is not black anymore. I didn't mean like I meant the black except him, but not that he's not excellent. Of course,
he's just not black. I mean, it's just not, you know, it's not classically podcast. So it is. I love y'all. I love y'all for real.
That's why you hit us with that dry ass. Hey, Scott.
You suck. I don't know Scott. I'm sure Scott is great. He sounds fantastic. You suck for that.
Chile. All right. That's all I got for news.
Thank God. All right. Let's move on to the intermission while there's still a podcast left. And we've been back for a smooth 17 minutes and I'm already having second thoughts. Okay. So why, but you can't see why? Oh, anyway. Okay. So as we said before, it's been a little minute. Delaney and I talk, of course, but like, you know, it's been a minute. So I think we've done this intermission before, probably. But we're gonna do listens lately. I just want to hear what you've been listening to. It doesn't have to be classical music. I remember I was talking to my cousin last weekend, and because he's a chef. Well, yeah, he's a chef, and he was like,
vegan chef.
I'm sorry,
a vegan chef?
No, he clowns me for being vegan.
Oh.
But he's a chef, and he's like, the last thing he wants to do when he gets home is cook. So, and I told him that's what's up, because it's like. Cause I asked him, I was like, I'm surprised you eat out, because, you know, we were out all weekend. I'm like, I'm surprised you eat out. And he was like, when someone cooks for you, it's the best thing. Cause like when he gets home, he's like, I just want a sandwich. Like, honestly. Mm-hmm. And I was like, that reminds me of like what I've been doing. Cause it's like, sometimes I just want to sit in silence, you know? Or if I'm not sitting in silence, it's like I said before, it's probably not going to be classical music. However, one of these things are classical music on my thing. So I want to hear what you've been listening to lately and what you got.
Okay, so of course most of mine are not new, just because I haven't really listened to like new music in a long time. But I started listening to Young M.A. Well, I can't say that I've like started listening to Young M.A. as in like I listen, but of course I know pretty much all the words. So
of course. Petty Wap is also very good.
I haven't heard this. I ain't heard basically nothing but that, and then of course her Tatiana remix is one of my. It's actually my favorite one out of all of them.
And also her early, her like, because she's like kind of like a Nipsey Hussle type, like I'm not getting signed by a label type thing. So her early mixtapes are also very good. Like
I bet
I would have like, you about to go on that mountain, you should download some or whatever before you go.
I maybe might could.
Yeah, like her early stuff is really good.
And then I started considering like maybe just, I feel like right now I've been too far removed from like how music has been going, because like I stopped listening to recent music in about 2012, but Tyler the Creator just came out with a new album, and I was like, and if anybody knew me in middle school, you know I had a Tyler the Creator obsession. So I was like, okay, I'm going to listen to his new album. So I've heard a couple songs off of it. I'm not done with it. But right now my favorite is Earthquake. So I've been listening to that. It's very different for rap. And even for, I can't say for him because I haven't listened to any of his albums since like Wolf. And even that one I only know a couple songs off of. And I know that a lot of people said that Flower Boy was very different for him. So I can't say that this new album Igor is different for him, but it's definitely different for rap, like in terms of the influences that he uses. A lot of rappers were like, dang, like, you know, he's doing some like really different stuff that people haven't been, I guess, haven't had the confidence to do. So. Yeah,
I mean, I feel like a lot of old heads aren't really pleased with where rap is right now. I forgot who it was.
Well, some of it is understandably so. Like I feel like they're like mumble rap and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, But his stuff is more like it's jazzy. It has like R&B. You know, like it's just it's more complex. Honestly.
Like I feel like I forgot who it was. I think it was T-Pain. Honestly, he basically said he was like he's just waiting for this phase to pass. I mean, he said it.
T-Pain. Okay.
I mean, T-Pain put his work in. Like for sure. Like but T-Pain like, is someone I respect.
He not. I mean, yeah, but he not like that's different from like Jay-Z saying, you know.
Yeah, but when he said I wasn't like it's not like freaking Migos said, you know, and like. Everybody know I stand Migos, but like it is what it is, you know. Mm-hmm. And he was like, I think it was T-Pain because it wouldn't be. I don't listen to anything T.I. gotta say, because I could just check my local thesaurus and get the same information while I gotta listen to T.I. However, I digress. And it's like, I mean, also you gotta respect what it is. I mean, like we let the French do their little impressionist movement, you know. And we kept it pushing, so it's same type of stuff. Like, but yeah. Anyway, you were saying?
No, I was just like, okay, T-Pain, but
yeah, I like T-Pain.
I mean, yeah, there are songs about T-Pain that I really, really like, but I just feel like for people like that whole thing with Dionne Warwick saying that stuff about Beyonce, like Dionne Warwick is a legend and can, you know, say some stuff, but it's like T-Pain. For ain't no rap legend for him to be like what these kids doing these days. That's why I'm just kind of like I would expect that to come from somebody who's like an old head. T-Pain is relatively young. He's like in his 30s, you know. But
I think the old heads are mad that the young people are coming around with something like new, excuse me, and like different, and like they're not really like someone like Joe Budden who's just like bitter all the time. And like, especially like when Migos first came around, that like whole interview with like that went viral. Like you know what I'm saying, with Bad Bougie, like that thing. Mm-hmm. And it's like, look, they just here. A lot of these people like are just here to make money and have a good time. Like honestly, like every time, like people know I stand Belcalis, and every time, you know, we get to the comments like Nicki Minaj is better, Belcalis can't rap, blase. I'm not gonna say nothing about Nicki Minaj because she's been on my nerves. Well, actually, she's been not around, which has been like refreshing. Sorry, I don't like. I know she has her queen. I know she has her queen radio, but like like Nicki Minaj is not here, and the girls are flourishing because they all get along except for Nicki Minaj, City Girls, Meg Thee Stallion, Cardi B. They all get along when Nicki Minaj is not here because. Cardi B, and it could be just like clout. It could be Cardi B. I don't know her personally, but she don't really seem like that because she, based on what she said, it's like she's confused as to why Nicki Minaj acts the way she acts towards her. So she put up a video of her rapping City Girls. Like they like biggest thing right now is act up, right? So like you don't listen to new music, but if I said the words like act up, you could get snatched up. Like that's like going around on every social media platform. And it's like she posted something about her rapping that it's like the girls are getting along without Nicki Minaj around. But like I feel like anytime someone new comes along, it's like, well, y'all like Cardi B doesn't. Ain't nobody said she was like a master MC. Like she literally out of her own mouth, I want to make music and I want to make money and I want to have a good time, and that's what she does. What kind of stuff is complex about Cardi B's music? Leave his text on red, leave his balls on blue, put him on airplane mode so none of his texts come through. That's like a fourth grade haiku.
I mean, yeah, but I think that's what they're taking issue with. Not that they have the right to, because there are so many. Like I can see them looking at people like 6ix9ine and what's the other one Lil Pump, the one that we was talking about last time when we was reading his lyrics. I could see them looking at that and be like, ugh. But at the same time, if I could do nothing and be famous, I mean not famous but rich. Like how people are like, the Kardashians didn't do nothing. If I could be a millionaire for doing nothing, I would.
For doing nothing, yeah. And also, like, look at our field. It's like, you got people, we in the practice room every day doing arpeggios and excerpts and all that other stuff. You got people on Instagram who don't play as well with you, who got more followers. Just because they post videos that have, like, mad auto-tuning or it's not in tune at all. I don't know, because I don't really be. People send videos to me or whatever, and I'll be like, "Girl,
yeah, you don't follow nobody, huh?"
I don't, because my Instagram is for fun. Like, I post pictures of me going to brunch on my Instagram. That's what I like to do. Like, I'm sorry, like I don't really follow a lot of like all the musicians that I follow are my friends, cause I just like I don't. Wow. Anyway, but I mean, I can see like why you get mad. Like, but the thing is, to me, okay, let's use the same example. I don't get mad at that. It's like you want to post video. I know like that. It's not easy to post videos, but also maybe it's not hard for them, because if you just played the violin in high school and now you just doing whatever, like you're not friends with the people who are trying to play in tune. So like anyway, it's like playing for church folk. They play, baby, play for the Lord, baby. You know, right. It's like they
play your violin.
Right, play that. You playing that violin, girl? I'm like, I got 3 degrees in viola, and they still calling it a violin. You know. My grandma even asked me, "You don't play the violin?" I'm like, Gloria. It's about to be 17 years in September. But
anniversary. What are the kind of anniversaries you got coming up?
That's it. Anyway, my vegan anniversary's in January. 3 years. Okay. But it's like I don't get mad at them Instagram people for playing whole notes and being famous. You know what I'm saying? Like that, to me, that doesn't bother me. So it's like I don't understand, and it's on a bigger scale, but it's like I don't understand why Joe Budden would be mad at the Migos for being walking like I'm talking.
Does Joe Budden do music? That's a serious question. Does he?
I love you day and day. I love you more and more. Well, actually, kind of balances out because you just, you know. But anyway, yes, Joe Budden is a rapper.
Oh, okay. I just know he has that podcast. That's all I know about Joe Budden.
That made my day. That tickled me so.
Because
shout out to Delaney.
Because I was like, well, why would he if he's not even a rapper? But he is. So
that was probably my favorite comment of the week.
I mean, I can see why he would be bitter then. Because how famous is he?
Joe Budden's pretty famous. I just don't like him.
Like, is he famous for his music or?
Yeah.
Was he on a show?
Maybe he was on
a reality show.
Maybe he was on one of them hip hop shows. He was. Okay. I feel like he was on. He was on Love and Hip Hop. I just never hear nobody
listening. Oh, I'm listening to that new Joe Budden. Like, I feel like I've never heard nobody say that. That's why I'm like, but he's That's still not. He's probably not Cardi B famous.
That's the thing. Cardi B is.
That's probably why he mad.
It's like he's low key. Is Cardi B a megastar? I feel like she is.
At this point, yeah, I feel like she is too. Because she can't go nowhere. Cardi B can't go nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to figure out, because Beyonce's a megastar, but Beyonce's a megastar for different. Because Beyonce's like, I don't feel like people. I mean, maybe there's degrees to megastar, because like people don't faint when they see Cardi B. Like people need oxygen when they see Beyonce.
Yeah. I think that's like an icon status type of thing.
Yeah, maybe so.
But Cardi B is the type where like she can't just go to Target.
Right. Know? Meanwhile, Joe Budden, ain't nobody gonna be like, oh hey, let's go Joey over there.
And nobody's gonna mob her. Yeah. I mean, mob him. I mean, some people would mob Cardi B. People would not be mobbing Joe Budden, depending on where you at. Yeah, and probably still not even then. Yeah. I just feel like some people are like, my artistry that I work to hone, and then they just, and I like it in some fields, especially like something like rap, I could see why that might get on someone's nerve, but not with Joe Budden. You're already famous, you already have a platform. But like I because that reminds me, I was watching Insecure, and one of the guys, like he was like, I got good and so got famous. You know, like something when a field like that where it's like you really like you have to be famous. Like in our field, it's like you don't have to be in the LA field. You know,
right?
You could be in another orchestra that pays well and have a good life. You know, so I feel like there's that difference. The stakes are kind of higher.
Yeah, I mean, if we expand our field a little bit, you have someone like it's not really the same. If we really like step back, it's like okay, on a really extreme example, you have Diana Damro, who's like famous in her own right, like mega like soprano star, all the operas, blase, like, but she could go to freaking Target, ain't nobody gonna even say nothing to her, right? Like she probably doesn't even need an escort, whatever. But she's like famous, you know. She's Diana Damro, and you look at somebody like Janae Aiko, who cannot go to Target because she's famous. So it's like. Janae Aiko, yeah, she be doing stuff. Maybe that's okay. Maybe someone a little bit bigger. Kelly Rowland, right?
Okay.
Can't go to Target without being at least stopped. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, should Diana Damro feel no type of way? No. And it's like, did Kelly Rowland train? Absolutely, but not the same in the same way that Diana Damro did. But I mean, and they're different forms of art or whatever. But it's like, to me, that doesn't bother me. Like I said before, like when I see people on Instagram posting videos playing backtracks, it's like to playing the backtracks. That doesn't bother me. I'm like, do your thing. Like that's amazing. Like that's how you doing it. Like I'm like, to me, I can't be pressed. You know, I can't be pressed because I'm like, well, I got to work on excerpts. Like to me, those are just
I feel like it's because of like the success, the range, I guess the gamut of success is much like bigger for us because it can mean different things to you. Like that person may be auditioning for an orchestra you have literally no interest in, you know?
Right.
So, but for like someone who you're competing for big rap star or headliner of this festival or something, you know, then it's just like you feel like you put in all this work. And I mean, I don't necessarily agree with him, you know, but I'm just saying I feel like that's probably why he's salty. And then also they just hate to see people doing better than them. So,
but I don't agree with any of that because it's like, okay, like a typical one, right, is like this Beyonce versus Cardi B thing because it's like only one room for one person at a time. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry, Beyonce. Because let me not have people tweeting me.
You're right.
This Nicki Minaj versus Cardi B thing. It's like Hillary Hahn and what's my fave?
Janine Jansen.
Yeah. Jansen. Okay, clearly not my fave. This is the second time I forgot her name on this podcast. It's like ain't nobody comparing them. I mean, maybe people are, you know.
Yeah, but not people who matter. So people in the YouTube comments,
right?
Who can't
but
play
it's like,
E flat major scale. So
exactly. But people like us, it's like I either want to go see Hillary Hahn because Hillary Hahn does these things well, or I want to see Janine Jansen because she does these things well, or it's like people who exist at the top, you know. I don't know. That's always been weird to me. Like there can be multiple people. Why would you only want to listen to Nicki Minaj? Why would you only want to listen to Cardi? Why would you only want to? That doesn't make sense.
And also, you're already filthy rich, sis. It'd be different if you were dirt poor and way better. Like, but you're filthy rich, Nicki Minaj. You'll die rich.
I can't imagine being that pressed. I just can't.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully she gets
the help she needs, or like just stay where you are.
Yeah, but people will always find a reason to be mad. Honestly, always because no one really steps back. Like you could be mad because somebody's not doing anything and having tons of success, but also if I could just sit on my butt and have everything that I want rather than work for it, yeah, I would do that. Right.
And I'm sure, like, I keep using this example because I like her. It's like I'm sure Cardi B writes some stuff, but if you told me all I had to do was go learn a little, you know, little melody, put it into a mic, and you gonna mix it up for me, and I get $25 million, like why not?
Right. And I'm gonna die rich. My kids gonna be rich. Like
I just don't
have everything in my wildest dreams. Of course.
Why are y'all mad at that? First of all, and like
they're mad because it's not them.
I know it's weird, but it's like ain't nobody. You can't compare everything, but it's like ain't nobody put Tchaikovsky down for not being able to play his violin concerto. Mm-hmm. You know, like he wrote it, somebody else played it. So okay, somebody else wrote it. Cardi B saying it. What's the problem? Mm-hmm. And it's summertime. It's act up season. We want to act up. So play the records. I don't know. Y'all are weird.
Right. Did you even say yours?
No. Oh, I was waiting for you to finish.
Oh no, I was done.
Oh, for real?
Yeah, we went on that tangent about T-Pain, and then that turned into Joe Budden. And then I asked if Joe Budden did music, and
which tickled me. That sent me. Okay, so y'all know I'm on some ratchet stuff. So, all right. My cousin was like, you listen to trap, like Katie only likes trap music, gospel, and classical. And my cousin was like, wow. My other cousin was like, wow, what a concept. And I was like, yep.
Trifecta.
Exactly. What else do you need? Okay, so I've been listening to, like, there's been a lot of, like, a couple of new songs that came out. One is Cardi B's Press. I don't know if I really, really like it. Not yet. It's just her yelling into the mic about how she don't need no... Have you heard it?
No.
It says about how she don't need no more press.
Is that an album?
No, it was a single.
I've seen the picture of her with her naked with the people.
Yeah, press.
I didn't even recognize her at first, to be honest.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, that picture, that was a single. Press. Cardi don't need no press. It's just like her yelling. It's great. Another one I've been listening to, which is relatively new, is by DaBaby. I think we talked about DaBaby.
Oh, that video of DaBaby. Oh my gosh, if y'all have not seen that video of that dude in the Louis Vuitton store accosting DaBaby, like, man, here go DaBaby, he a weak 8, you know, like, just cussing at him, all up in his face, talking about do something, you ain't finna do nothing. Why the video cut out and then come back in? This dude, DaBaby is standing over him. This dude on the floor, nose bleeding. His pants are around his
ankle. I'm like, at which point? And you know what's funny? If you listen to DaBaby's lyrics, you could tell he's not the one to mess with. And here you go messing with him.
That video had me so weak because he was talking the most. And
oh my God!
Why you pull his pants down, DaBaby? Why you do that?
And also, like, why would you? The whole thing is dumb because why would you roll up on somebody who has an entourage? That doesn't make sense. And I'm not saying he got jumped. I'm just saying, like, huh? Like, it's like simple kindergarten math will tell you, like, this was not a good idea.
Oh my gosh, it was so funny, especially because you didn't see what got to that point. Like there's no video of in between the talking and then the pants on the ground.
Right,
so
right. It's like, how did your pants end up around? Man, maybe we should link that.
You know what? If I remember, honestly, I will link it
because that what a gem. The internet is a beautiful place.
For real.
But yeah, I've been listening to Suge by DaBaby. That's just like his newest thing right now. Mm-hmm. It's just fun, especially driving. Pack it up, man. Let's go. She like how it smelled cologne.
Oh, I know that song.
Yeah, you know that song?
I've heard it somewhere. Probably my little brother.
Yeah, I love that song. I've been listening to quite a bit of Nipsey Hussle lately. I feel bad for that because I didn't listen to him while he was alive. But
don't feel bad because that's helping his family.
That's what I was saying. Like my 0.006% cents per stream is going to his estate. So I've been listening to quite a bit of him. I really like Last Time I Checked, and what was the other one I was listening to? Double Up. I really like that song. Old stuff. I've been listening to a lot of Janae Aiko lately. Like I mentioned her earlier. When she said like this song Never Call Me, like the lyrics are a read. It's like why can't you just tell the effing truth? Your mama, yes, she did raise a fool.
Ooh, wow.
What you learning in that schoolhouse? I was like, sis, I'm wondering. Please let us know. That's a good song. And then listen to a lot of Afrobeat stuff. So I've been listening to a lot of Davido. He's like Nigerian. Is he Nigerian? Yeah. He's a Nigerian like Afrobeat thing. And then classical music. I've been listening to Hindeman's Opus 31 No. 4. I'm trying to learn
some viola something.
Yeah, I'm learning a new viola sonata because Brahms ain't it. I'm done. Me and Brahms have had our time.
Oh, I can't wait for the recording.
Anyway,
Hindemith. You know, I love me some Hindemith.
When I continue to audition for these things, I need something that's not going to require piano accompaniment. I love my pianist, but everybody got to pay bills, and it adds up. And also, I've been with Brahms so long. Like, I've been with Brahms for a very long time because Mr. Taylor assigned that sonata to me before I got to Eastman, and then we just never worked on it until it was time for my recital. So, yeah, I just need something new. I need to change the pace. So, that's what I've been listening to lately. Hindemith is... I remember I turned it on because I was like, which one of these sonatas do I want to play? Because everybody play like whatever, Opus 25, whatever. And I was like, okay, which one of these want to do? And I turned it on and I was like, woof, let me readjust my ears. I forgot how this went. But yeah, that's what I listened to lately. Let us know what you're listening to. Put us on to something. We want to hear what you're listening to.
All right.
And we are moving on. All right, y'all. So today we're talking about confidence. In the music field, and it was sparked by this video I found. I'm about to pull it up. This video I came across on Facebook. I'm barely on Facebook because aunties be over there, but ain't nothing wrong with Facebook, you know what I'm saying? So here it is.
As a competitor, if you're trying to do something meaningful, if you don't have the mindset that you're the best ever, you failed already. So if you don't have the mindset that you are the best reporter ever, then you already failed. And that's been my mindset since I can remember. That will be my mindset as long as I can remember anything, that I am the best ever at what I do. And every day that I step on the basketball floor, I will strive to be that. But my mindset will always be as such, as I am the best to do what I do. And that'll give me a shot at being the best. But before you can ever reach anything, you have to believe it. You don't just mistakenly become great at something. You probably at one time or another, believe that you can be great at that. And then you work to get great at that, and you reach that greatness. But you don't mistakenly become great. And then you start to believe, oh man, I'm great at that. No, you believed that before, and you work to get that. So I always believe that. And I'll work every day to reach that.
So that was some sports ball player. Hold on. Let me find out his name.
Y'all know.
Yeah, this is completely out of my.
Yeah, this ain't Sportily Black podcast. So
Exactly.
We don't know who that.
Oh shoot! Don't even put his name.
I should have
in
said athletically.
See, look, that's how far we are.
Sportily.
Well, who is he? Oh, he got a little bridge on him, so he's from the Golden State Warriors. Oh, the NBA Finals are going on. Yes, I heard that somewhere. That's right. Oh, his name is Dre. Y'all can put it together. Y'all find out who he is. But
Right.
Oh, here we go. That's why reading's fundamental, Katie. Draymond Green.
Oh, Draymond.
Oh, that's what it is. Draymond.
So I got a basketballer in my house, so.
Oh, I hope his name is Draymond for the good of the culture.
Yeah, I think it is Draymond.
Oh, thank God. I love that way more than Draymond. Draymond.
Yeah, it's Draymond.
Oh,
I feel like I've heard my little brother say that before.
Okay, yeah. So Draymond Green. Talk about that, and then like it made my my ears go up because, and Delaney and I have two completely different takes on this because it made my ears go up first because I was like, okay, how could this apply to classical music? And for me, it's like I could never imagine knowing, like, even if I stay like in the realms of who was in my studio when I was at Eastman. That sounds so weird. When I was at Eastman a smooth 2 weeks ago, when I think about who was in my studio, I could never fathom being like, I'm the best ever. Even in a thing where I'm trying to hype myself up, I couldn't even be like, yeah, I'm the best ever. Like, I'm the best violist that ever graced the halls of Eastman. I'm the best violist, period. And that kind of mindset will help me get to where I need to go. Like, that type of weird cocky confidence or whatever, like, that is something I was like, I don't really know if that works for classical music. Like, I don't, or really anything in general, but I don't know about anything in general. I know about classical music. To me, I don't think that works because there's so much talent. There's so much, like, it's perspective. It's like, I'm a student and there's people who are sitting in the viola section of the Berlin Field. How can I possibly be the best violist ever? There's people who are winning the Primrose Viola competition. How am I the best violist ever? So it's like, when I saw that, I was like, oop, I don't know about all that. But Delaney, you interpreted it completely different.
Yeah, I think an important detail that I just heard when you played that back that I didn't even, when we talked about this previously, I didn't even realize was that he said, every time I step on the court, I'm the best basketball, player, or I'm the best at what I do. And what I interpret that to mean is when he steps on the court, that's the same as when we step on the stage. And we talked about this a little bit about how on the stage is the place for you to feel that way. I think that he more so means that when you're going to execute what you've been practicing, that's when you should feel I'm the best ever. When it's time for you to execute it.
So Mr. Taylor always had a thing about, like, I remember I was working on something and he's like, you've always practiced it like tentative. Like, I hope I get this shift. So so it's like, now your time to perform it, and that's how it sounds. So yeah. He was like, I need you to go home and do this like 1,000 times, playing it big. So it's like, I challenge you, and I'm wondering, you have to be able, I wonder if you have to think like that all the time. Like, I know he said step on his court, but I'm wondering, do you have to think like that all the time? You have to practice thinking. Draymond has to practice thinking, I'm the best basketball player in the world, even before he steps on the court, because when he steps on the court, now it's just noise. Now it's just like, oh yeah, man, I'm the best basketball player in the world. You know what I'm saying?
Well, yeah, but it could be the equivalent to like a pre-performance routine or something like that. But even so, all the time could really translate to as much as you can, because no one's gonna feel that way all the time.
Right.
Because your stats don't lie, your intonation don't lie, your tuner not lying to you. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
And when he says that saying that gives him, I guess, a chance at being the best basketball player, I think he really just means that. With like saying that is what's going to motivate him to do the work. Basically just saying that this can happen, because there's a difference between just saying I'm the best bass player in the world and then saying I'm the best bass player in the world and then practicing, you know. He's saying, I say I'm the best bass player ever, best bass player the best basketball player ever too. And then I put in the work. I think that's the important part, because there are so many people who would just say I'm the best at my instrument and then sit on the couch eating potato chips. Yeah, you know, you can't just be that. It has to go hand in hand with something. And I really don't agree with the first one. He's like, well, you done already failed if you don't. Like, I don't know about all that.
Yeah, I don't know about, because I feel like you have to have confidence in the work that you do and have confidence in the fact that like you do good work and you're going to succeed. But I don't think if you don't think like I'm the best violist in the world, I'm not gonna make it as a violist. I just don't. To me, and I know it's like, to some people we might be comparing apples and oranges, but I honestly think it's apples and apples. It's like, at the end of the day, these are still music and basketball. It's a refined craft. Like, you have to, like, they know exactly how to stand. They know exactly how to stand and how to shoot, so they make the basket every time. We know exactly how far we need to go to make a shift every time. And do we make the shift every time? No. Do they make a basket every time? No. But it's like refining your craft so that you can make that shift, you can make that basket as many times as possible. We all doing the same stuff. It's just different muscles that are doing it, So I just don't see how, to me, that was kind of weird. It's like, I don't think you have to be like, I'm the best to succeed in something, because to me, reality sets in and like, says that's not what that lesson said the other week. Like that's like kind of me. That's why I was like, when I listened to the first time, I was like, wait, hold on, what y'all doing over there in sports ball? I
think, and I said this before, I think that the way I'm interpreting it is sort of akin to the phrase that if you shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you'll land among the stars. It's sort of just like you're saying something that, like you said, that you're not going up against nobody in the Berlin field or anything, but I feel like it's almost something. It's conditioning your subconscious to feel like you're the best, or to feel better about what you're doing. Because I don't even think that may be directly affecting him, but it may affect his mood. It may affect his demeanor, his motivation. Like, maybe not directly, but indirectly.
Yeah, I think for me, especially like my journey as a violist, it's like, ain't no way my subconscious is gonna believe that. That's like the kind of dialogue I have with myself, and we can jump into that a little bit. Like when we talk about building confidence in this field, it's like my subconscious is not set up like that, and I don't know. I know he's obviously very accomplished. Like,
your subconscious or your conscience?
My subconscious is a completely different thing, but like my conscience is not set up like that because of like the steps that it's taken me to get to this point, So it's like, I'm sure like whatever Draymond, like he's very accomplished, what I'm saying? Like he don't play on no Division II team, like he's one of the top teams in the league, he had to be like, was he a first draft pick or not? All that stuff comes into play, how long he been playing basketball. So I'm sure he been down on his luck. Everybody has, but there's no way that my inner self is gonna believe that. We're like, okay, girl, go up there. You the best. To be a Zimmer ain't got nothing on you, girl. Like, there's no way like that I'm gonna believe that. My brain gonna be like, huh? Where you get that from? And I'm gonna be like, nah, girl, let's go with it.
But I remember even when you said that like when you play viola, you feel invincible.
I feel good when I play the viola. I feel like, yo, girl, like you on top of the world. But that, to me, those are different. you know.
I mean, yeah, they're not the same, but I feel like you're taking it a little more literally than I am. Like that he means that literally no other basketball player can ever do anything better than him. But it's like, and like I said, if that were really true, then that would mean he'd be in the Guinness Book of World Records every single year from breaking every previous, you know. That would,
and of course, like, but I'm wondering if the conversation he's having with himself is that's what it is. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And maybe I'm taking it literally, you know. That was my literal interpretation, you know. Like, if you believe that you are the best, that you will then achieve. Mm-hmm. That's how I interpreted it.
I just think that that's probably something that he's been seeing results from.
Yeah.
So that's what I think that's why he's saying that. But you know, like we've talked about this, like words have power, and I think
for sure.
Yeah, so I think it's more like the residual effects of saying that to himself have been manifesting themselves. I think, and that's probably, you know, how he feels. That's why even you have affirmations and that affects you. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's probably an affirmation for him that affects you. So maybe it's just the concept.
Yeah.
And not the particular words.
Yeah, I mean, everybody talks to themselves different, you know, because that's probably his affirmation, you know, like I'm the best. Yeah. It's just for me, like in the context that I'm in and the journey that I've had, there's no way I'm gonna believe that.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, if you don't believe you're the best, then you won't succeed. I think if you don't believe you're gonna succeed, you won't succeed.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm more agreeing with the concept because, like, I've had a teacher that said that, you know, to do something like that before you go up on stage, to be like, well, I'm just the best ever. And I've also, someone in my studio was saying that, like, he read that there's actual, like, research that proves that people who stand, like, in a superhero position,
I forgot,
with your hands on your hips, will actually help you feel more confident if you do that for like a couple minutes before you go out on stage.
Yeah, it's called it's called a power pose.
Yeah,
like
power pose.
I tried it one time. I don't think I did it long enough, but it's like you stand like a starfish. Like you're supposed to do it for a longer time, but I was like, this ain't working. Anyway, let's go play.
Yeah,
but like I heard one of the professors here talk about power posing, stand like a starfish. You do that for a minute, so like you just feel like, you know, whatever.
Yeah, I think it's something like that because like my affirmation is a little bit more literally based than his. His is more like this is a aspiration, and like I said, shoot for the moon and land amongst the stars. The thing that I tell myself that's a little different is very literally, you put it in the work, so it's gonna go well. You know, it's more like you did this, so you will get this result.
Yeah.
And obviously there have been times when I have not gotten that result. Usually when I have not gotten that result, it's because I could have worked harder. You know, so I feel like it always that, and it also comes down to, are you putting in the work, or are you just going and doing whatever you want after you say that?
Right. Let's get into talking about like building confidence in this career field. Tell me about your personal experience, like what you have done to build confidence, or if you haven't, like where you are at as far as much as you are comfortable sharing.
I feel like the main thing, probably the only thing that I can recall that I've specifically done that has benefited my confidence, I guess, I wouldn't even necessarily, that has prevented me from having a like low confidence. Rather, it hasn't boosted my confidence, but it's just having blinders on and not comparing myself to other people. When I hear other people playing, I'm like, that is none of my business.
Yeah, I
cannot possibly compare myself to you, because I just feel like the whole concept of this person is better and this person, you know, plays better than me. There are some cases in which statements like that are very clear. Edgar Meyer plays better than me, you know, like, you know, but in even people like within my studio, or people that are maybe a couple years older than me, it's still not so clear, like clean cut. There are things that I can hear if they're playing where I'm like, I couldn't trade the way I do that for the world, you know? even if I could do everything else the way they would, that one thing is why I like the way I do it better.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's what helped me, like seeing that that it's not so linear with this person's better than me, I'm not as good as them. That's what sort of just made me be like, you know what, just put your blinders up and don't even listen to what's going on in the practice room next to you, because it has nothing to do with you. You spend so much time looking over to the side of you when so much time to improve yourself is passing you by. That's, yeah.
I mean, the idea, like, that stuck out to me what you just said, like, idea of blinders. I perfected that skill at Eastman because, like, before, I wouldn't say I would compare myself. Maybe it is comparing, but I would say I compare myself. But, like, when I was an undergrad, it was, like, a lot of people, not even a lot of people, most people in my studio were better than me, like, including the people that came in with me, you know? So, it was, like, not even most so, like, oh, like, this person does this better than me, but it's like I have so far to go. Like, that's kind of like where I'm coming from. So when I got to Eastman, I came in, I think I even, like, I might even have it in the journal entry. I was like, there are people who you will play better than, and there are people who will play circles around you, and that is none of your business. And that's even why what started the thing. That's why I don't know, like, I never practiced at school. I don't know if you ever noticed that. Like, that's not, one, I'm productive at home, so there's literally no reason for me to go lock myself in a practice room. And two, is because I don't want to hear you playing my concerto next to me. That's something that I do for myself. But, like, honestly, like, I have no idea. Like, I don't care what you're working on. I find out in studio class. I don't care what you apply for. I wish you the best of luck. Like, stuff like that just does not faze me at all. Like, I have no idea what the person to the right of me is doing unless you tell me, and I'll be like, okay, good, sis. You know, like, I just, like, that really stuck out to me.
And I feel like, especially hearing the way people talk in and outside of studio class, has really, I guess, it made me realize that, because there's a difference between, you can tell who's getting the most out of studio class and who is not. And what I'm saying about blinders, that doesn't mean now I'm dozing off in studio class because what you playing is not my business. It affects the way that you interpret it, because people are like, oh, well, she missed that shift and she didn't blah, blah, blah. I can tell you got nothing from the studio class. Or someone who's like, she did that so well, I could never do that, she's better than me, whatever. You also got nothing from that studio class. The way I look at it is, if you are going to look and analyze someone's playing, you would look at not even things that they do better than you, but things that they do differently than you. I feel like that's the difference. Like, if you change the way that you, like, the language that you use, not they did it better, they did it worse than me, they did it differently, because that can inform the way that you, like, or what you try in the practice room. Even if something is already going well, if you try it a different way, you could be like, oh, I didn't think that could be better, but it did, you know?
Yeah. I remember I was taking, like, 2 years ago, I was taking a Uber back to Rochester, and I was talking to my Uber driver. He was like, oh, wait, I'm dropping off at Eastman. Like, what do you do? So I was telling him about it. And he was like, oh, man, you must be really good shut up, Delaney. You must be really good if you go to Eastman or whatever. And I was like, there's people. I was like, man, this is one kid. Like, that kid plays circles around me. He's like, now, how, like, he's like, he called me because he's like, circles, like, what do he really do that is circles around you? Like, circles around? And I'm like, yeah, man, like, he plays circles. He's like, nah, like, I'm sure, like, that's not true. And it's like, I mean, I don't know. I think everybody sound good. So I just be like, dang, like, okay. And that's where my blinders.
Meanwhile, your sound be carrying through the halls and people be passing out. We got to move the oxygen tank in. Yup. I just saw somebody outside with a gurney.
You did?
After your recital. Yep. It was before you came out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's how it went?
Yep.
Anyway.
They just didn't want you to feel guilty. So that's why they took him out before you came out.
Anyway. I think for me, like, the whole confidence thing, I feel like if you talk to me about playing a viola, first of all, I don't like to tell people I go to school. That's always been the way I am, because then you be like, then you got something to say out your mouth, like, well, you must. I remember I went to one audition. This is why I don't like this. I went to one audition, and everybody do the thing what they like to do. They like to name drop, right? So we going around the circle, telling people. Everybody like want to know what school people go to, right? So I'm just like, I hate this game. Mm-hmm. And I was like, is there a bathroom nearby? Like I could, I'm trying to plan my out. You know what I'm saying? So whatever. They get to me. I'm like, I go to Eastman. They're like, oh my God, you go to Eastman? Like, oh, you playing. Because black people, like, that's how they are, right? Mm-hmm. So like, oh, you playing. I'm like, you don't know what I do. Okay, I could be a yard boy at Eastman, So.
All right.
So. Anyway. So, are you playing, right? All right, I don't say nothing. I'll be like, I work hard. And like, that's why I'm at Eastman. And what happens? We get to the audition. The main dude that was gassing me about going to Eastman got it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's why, like, stuff like that has informed the way I interact with like, how I play as a violist. Like, you'll rarely hear me be like, oh man, I did that. I was happy with my recital. In one breath, I was like, I did that. And the next breath, I was like, yeah, it went well. Like, that's all. Like, I can't talk with that. And it's mainly because of my confidence as a musician. And like, cause when I got to undergrad, people don't know. Like, I was the best violist. You couldn't tell me nothing. Like, I was the best violist, period. I was always good at the viola. I was like, bet, let's do this. I was always good. I wasn't in youth orchestra either, so all I had was my school orchestra experience. I was always good. I was like, all right, what's next? What we doing? You want me something harder? What's next? I got to high school. He put me in the top orchestra. He needed more violas. I was like, all right, bet, what we playing? It was dummy hard. I practiced it. We played Brahms 4 that year. What was a high school orchestra playing Brahms 4? We played Brahms 4. I was like, bet, what's next? I was principal viola by my sophomore year. I was principal all the way through. So I go to high school. I go to college. I'm like, so what we really doing here, huh? What am I even doing here? Like, I got this. Like, give me my teaching license. Let's go. Like, cocky, right? When I tell you, I said it on the shot. Yes, because I had no concept of how the music world. I had no idea what was up against me. I knew. I could tell you, my vibrato was a little shaky. It was shaky. I was like, okay, she could smooth this out for me, and then that's it.
Oh my gosh, I've never been cocky.
And I wasn't cocky, like walking around.
Yeah, like nobody want to be next to you.
Yeah, like, I had friends in orchestra, like whatever. It wasn't like that. Like, I wouldn't even say, like, ain't nobody got nothing on me in here. Like, I wouldn't even. I've never been like that. I've never really been a cocky person. But like in myself, I'm talking about like inner confidence. That's what I want to clarify. Inner confidence was, you can't touch me.
Yeah,
but
that's that dude's inner confidence. Best basketball player.
Yeah, but like when I was like younger, inner confidence was like, you cannot touch me. I would never say that out loud, because I remember I played in the bottom orchestra, not the bottom orchestra. I played in the string orchestra my senior year as well on violin, and my now friend Nikki was like, well, she came up to me, she's like, oh, so Mr. A put you in here to help us out, and I was like, no, sis, I just want to play violin. That's all I want to do. I've never really been like that, but inside I was like, man, what is she gonna teach me at this school? You know what? Even after vibrato, sis, because I'm ready. Like, I had no concept of like that. I just wasn't in that world. I feel like if I was in, and I knew there were people better than me. Like the concertmaster, my senior year, his dad was a concertmaster of lyric, so he was dummy, like he was dummy good. So I knew like you could be really, really, really good. But I was just like, girl, anyway. And the fall to the bottom was hard, and it was fast, and it came with a swiftness. I'm talking about within a week of being at ISU, it was like girl. I spent the whole year on one little sonata because it was terribly out of tune. It was like, so that experience being last chair, having to like literally scrounge to the top, it's like that's affected how I view viola, how I interact with myself, how I interact with my peers. Like, you would never hear me say after, like, I killed that, I murdered that.
Yeah.
And it's not even like, there's nothing wrong with people who say that. I don't even want to say that. There's nothing wrong with that. It's just like, for me, I can't bring myself to say that, because it's like, it could always have been better. It's, to me, it's like, every time I listen to a recording, I'm like, oh, that note, oh, this. I remember every time I apply to something, if I know someone who did it before me, I send them the tape and I'd be like, is this good enough? It's just like, so confidence for me in this field is like, it's ever growing. It's like, it's getting better. I'm finally getting to a point where it's like, I'm gonna take this audition because I know this rep. Like, I'm gonna take this audition and I'll be like, I can play Mendelssohn and it won't rush. You know, it's like I'm slowly getting to a point, and it's just hitting rock bottom and then having to rebuild, having to be like, I can play my instrument, but like that's like an overarching thing. Like to me, I like when he said that when I step on the floor for a game, it's like I'm the baddest in here. Steph can't touch me. Michael Jordan, who like I couldn't.
But see, he didn't say all that.
Well, yeah, he didn't say all that, but it's
difference.
like I can't do a case by case. Overarching, I have 4 affirmations that I say every day, you know, and one or two of them has to do with viola, you know, and it's like I say those affirmations every single day with the idea that like I know it will come to fruition because so I speak, so therefore I will be, you know. So I have these overarching, but like when I go into a performance, it's more of me like especially since I'm a spiritual person, I'm a religious person. It's like, Lord, you see me do the work. I would love it if the work that I've done comes to fruition. That's kind of how I approach a performance situation. So it's not really like you could call it low self-confidence. I don't think so. I don't have low self-esteem, but like confidence in viola, it's like, Lord, please, I want this to go well. I'm begging you. I've seen what you've done. Yeah. I've seen what you've done for Hilary Hahn. Do it for me, please.
But like Mr. Taylor said, like that will come through if you're like, man, I hope that 4.5 hours I spent on this plays off. Like, why wouldn't it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And there are definitely going to be, and it's been countless things where you like, I messed that up for no reason. Mm-hmm. You know, something that's never happened before, but for some reason it happened. Like that memory slip I had. You know what? We don't need to talk about it.
See.
But just certain things that have just literally never happened. But I'm very much like most of the mistakes I make are because I could have done better in preparation. So I'm like, who you finna be mad at? Be mad at yourself and keep it pushing because you can't do it again.
Yeah. Like
I tend to get over stuff pretty quickly, but then every now and then it'll come back and I'll be like, dang. But I feel you on like you're always being like, oh, that could have been better. That could have been better, because even I still maintain that to this day, there's never been a performance where I'm like, that was good. Like that I felt, you know, that I would say that I am proud of, even though like I'm deep in this. But even that one performance I did in studio class where like 2 of my studio mates like texted me afterwards and was like, Delaney, oh my God. And my teacher shook my hand and was like, that was, oh my, you know, I got all that praise, but I was like, I wish I could do it again because this whole last section, I wish I could do the whole thing over again.
Yeah,
you know?
I think I have 3 where I'm like, did that, you know, and I think that's enough for me, you know. I have 3 where I wouldn't change a thing. It went so well.
Really?
Yeah, and it's like one of them I played, and the thing is like, how in tune was it? You know, it's like my recollection of it, I don't know, but it's like the feeling, like I played, who wrote the Vieux-Temps, what is it? Vieux-Temps wrote viola something, a solo viola piece. I forgot, the name escapes me right now. I'm not gonna sing it, but whatever. And he wrote this thing, and it's like fake virtuosic because it's got a whole bunch of stuff, but like, sis, it's just chords and whatever. So I played this piece or whatever. It was like the summer before I went to Eastman. Went to an old folks home. My former teacher put on a viola thing, put it at an old folks home, and I got like a bravo, beautiful, and it was like, killed it. And that's the first time I felt like I did that, you know, like that was like, that's one of the 3, you know. There's some times where it's like, yeah, but that's rare because I'm rarely happy with what I do, like rarely.
I think I'm very like I don't want to say observant, but like I really believe like the little tiny things that you do make up who you are, and the way it's very easy to like like just the smallest things tell you so much about someone. So when I was saying that whole thing about studio class and the way, if you just change the vocabulary, the way that you think about something, like I truly think that has a much bigger effect than it may have sounded, like may it sound like when I say it.
Yeah, of course.
It may sound like, man, you just, it's one little itty bitty word.
No, it's not.
But like,
yeah,
but it's just like the smallest things. I'm very I could go down a rabbit hole and get all picky about that. But I do think that like the small things that you change will affect the way you think. And once I finish getting my certificate in neurolinguistic programming, I can go into more detail about the imagine your face went like that. But like I just feel like that whole thing that he was saying, the qualifier is the most important part.
Yeah.
Not the best part, not the being the best part, because the qualifier is what makes it or breaks it, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. And I'm very big in how I talk to myself. I mean, I've been doing better because I realized my first year here at Eastman, I ain't gonna get all into my business, but I realized that my first year here at Eastman, it's like, if you keep saying certain stuff to yourself long enough, you'll start to believe it.
Yeah.
And so that's why, like, I don't say I don't play. I don't say, like, I have stopped saying that I don't play in tune, because first of all, it's not true. I play in tune.
Yeah.
I mean, because I was like, this is not you. If you don't play, you have no idea how it's supposed to sound. It's like hopelessly out of tune. That's not how I play. Me playing one measure sharp and then adjusting it back the next measure, me putting a shift too high is not playing out of tune. And Mr. Taylor has even like said it over and over to me. It's like, you don't play out of tune, you make mistakes. But like here I go in the back of my mind, like, girl, you play out of tune. And I started to guess what? Play out of tune. And I started to believe it. I'm like, yo, I don't play in tune. And that's why I stopped like I might have like said on the show like as a joke, but I don't even joke about it anymore. Like I just don't joke about it because it's not true. I play in tune. Like that's what I do. I make little mistakes, and like the better I get, the less mistakes I make. But it's like I don't play out of tune. That's ridiculous. Especially like whatever. When if someone I play for someone, and he was like, "Oh, that was a little low." I'm like, "Yeah, I heard it. It was a little low. So next time it won't be." But like I believe heavily in like how you talk to yourself. Like you just have to believe certain stuff. That's why like I try to be careful. Excuse me, even when I'm in my little feelings about what I say. Because the brain is like, it's like you have control over stuff, but like your subconscious like keep talking crazy.
Yeah, I think that's the most important takeaway from what he said. It was more the concept, because you said your affirmations, and those are just the words that speak to you. Like those are probably just the form that feeling or that concept takes for him in those words.
And like people listening, like affirmations might sound weird to you. Like I know we talked about like what methods or advice. Like I think methods and advice for building confidence, affirmations is definitely something that's helped me. And affirmations, like it just is however you talk to yourself, and they might sound like weird and hoaxy, but honestly, like if you just tell your brain something enough times, like it's gonna start to believe it. Like I like it is kind of weird, it's kind of uncomfortable, like, but for me, my affirmations, like I will say them in the mirror to myself. I look at myself every morning and I say like these. I can't do that. It's so freaking weird, but I look at myself every morning in the mirror and I say like these things, because eventually, like I just believe that it's just gonna come to fruition. Like it's like a weird thing. Like sometimes the universe, I know like it sounds hoaxy, but like sometimes the universe just aligns. Like if you just put enough stuff into the universe, like I've been joking about you, like the stuff that I have manifested in the past couple months, just like dumb little things that I have that I have manifested in the past couple months just by joking around.
But meanwhile, you're not manifesting the right things.
Okay, but the right things, in my defense, the right things take longer. Okay. But like that one thing, I was like, I don't want to go to this place. Remember, I was like, I don't want to go to this place. I don't want to go. I just kept saying it, like believing it wholly in my heart. Like why I did not want to go to this place, and I didn't go. It fell through, and that might be like a lot of people. I feel like they just like, man, like it was a coincidence. Like, I'm like, nah. To me, I don't believe that. Like, I feel like the thing with affirmation, you have to believe it. Like that's the caveat, and that's why that's why that video stuck out to me, because I'm just like, I can't talk to myself like that, because there's no way in hell I'm gonna really talk to myself and be like, girl, William Primrose who, girl, go ahead, play this Walton. There's no way I could talk to myself, but that's what works for him, you know. But it's like, in my heart, I believe I did not want to go. In the depths of my shondo, I was like, I don't want to go, and it happened. I believe in manifest. So I look myself in the mirror. I'll be like, yo, you gonna do this, and this every day, and like eventually it's gonna happen. I just think the thing. I don't know what I have to do with confident. I'm confident in the affirmation. Okay. Confident in my shifts. We working on it. You know what? Right. I know where fourth position is, because almost like having a finger tape, because if you hit the body of the instrument, that's fourth position for viola and violin and cello. I don't know what y'all be doing.
All right.
Is it when you hit the body of the instrument, is that fourth position?
It depends on what kind of neck you got.
See, y'all do too much.
A D neck, a E flat neck, a E neck.
That y'all do too much.
So it depends on the bass that you're playing. It's ridiculous, but
I mean, and yeah, what I tell kids that just as a vicinity.
No, I'm, you know, I mean like,
but
like
I know for y'all it literally like
term.
It varies.
Yeah, like you could literally, like, you have to. If you were getting a bass made, they would ask you what kind of neck you want. It could be our entire whole step
chicken
off.
necks, turkey necks, which one?
All right. They're annoying, not turkey necks. And I'm mad that reminds me of Jonathon asking me, what's turkey necks? I was like, Jonathon. The name Rhodes.
Oh, I was like, I know Jonathon Rush did not ask you that. No. I was like, what?
No, he was like, what's turkey necks? I was like, sweetheart.
Well, first of all, it's in the name. Okay, let's not do this, because I don't want to drag a colleague. We should move this along, because it's been like 40 hours. What advice have you received? We could like wrap that up, about building confidence in this field.
I mean, I wouldn't necessarily say I took this advice, but I took it and made it my own. And this is literally what we just spent all this time talking about. The only advice, my current teacher hasn't given me any particular advice about confidence, but that's because, I mean, his career just was, I mean, just illustrious from start to present. So it's just kind of like, what did you even, come on, bro. Like, I can't even begin to compare myself to him, you know. But my previous teacher was saying that, like, as a, you know, pre-performance thing, basically everything that you're thinking of, everything that you were thinking about, all the doubts that you were having, they don't exist now. They cannot exist. Because I personally believe, like, we were talking about how there's a fine line between saying you're the best and being the best and putting in the work. I think that there's definitely times for doubts, and there's definitely times for that, but those times are in the practice room, and they have no place backstage or on stage. Like, you know, and that's I mean, that's a thought that I took from what he said, but what he said was more like, before you go on there, all that stuff doesn't exist. This is gonna go well, and I think one of the things that he tells himself is that he's the best, or you have to like believe that you're the best or one of the best, you know, or at least the best that you can be, because obviously you're not going, you know, not practice and then 40 minutes before, I'm the best, and then expect something to come out that you've never seen before.
Mr. Taylor, that's just one of his favorite low-key drags. He'll be like, you don't realize how rude it is until retrospect. He's like, you want something you never had.
Oh. you don't realize it? Because I realized the second I heard. Yeah.
Because sometimes you'll be
it's like whiplash.
Mainly because it's like, did he really just say what I thought he said?
Right.
That's how
it's
I feel.
Whiplash.
A lot of
it's like, what happened?
Yeah, it's like a gnat. A lot of times, Mr. Taylor, I'll be like, wait, hold on. Did you just drag me?
Oh.
Because he'll be like, he's like, you get to perform and you want something you've never had. I'll be like, so What's the point here? Let's find the point. We straight off the path. Let's go.
Yeah, that's very true though. That's very
It's true. It's like you miss the shift 7 times, you get it on the 8th time, you're like, well, there we go.
Yeah, and then you think you got it? Are you kidding? Yeah, so I think like that's one thing that he was like, as a side note, you can't just expect something that's never happened before it to happen. But you go out there, you think of the best that you've done it more than once, and believe that that's gonna happen.
Yeah. People been asking Mr. Taylor to come on the show. First of all, he's gonna say no. Secondly, I don't think he knows the legend that I've painted him as. So when he come on here all nice, people gonna be
but yeah, he's not gonna be dragging nobody,
right? Like
maybe once he retires.
I mean, I feel like Mr. Taylor don't care. He would do it now.
Okay,
but I feel like he's not gonna come out here, just hyped up.
Mm-hmm.
Like I share the best moments. He's not gonna be like, and another thing, that wall never been its own. I think about like building confidence. I think that one of the best things I've heard, which is very simple, and I've heard it other places too, is what Mr. Taylor said. It's like, so you think there you like as you are. Like I remember talking to him about like Bach, and being like, yo, I'm over here preparing. I'm like, I never played one of these things like from start to finish without no music, right? He's like, huh? I'm like, Mr. Taylor, that's not normal. Like, I know it's normal here, but it's like the girls ain't playing 30 minutes of music memorized. Like, not where I come from.
Right.
And he's like, well, so you think there you are. It's like, if you think you're gonna forget it, you're gonna have a memory slip. And I didn't think I was gonna forget, like, whatever. The problem that I had with my recital is this is what classical music gets on my nerves. A smooth hour before that, like 2 hours before that, I ran that box suite from start to finish with no problem. I get up there, now I'm composing. I just make it make sense. I don't know.
Right. Not I'm composing. You're annoying.
But yeah, I think that and then also when I was taking rep class with Melissa, she gave me the thing. I've been working a lot on staying focused in the audition. And it's like, when you're playing or performing, that is not the time to be analyzing what's going on. Because I remember I played something for her, and I was like, oh, that note. Like I was going through my mind, like, oh, that note. And it's like, she's like, that's not the time for that. Like time was when you were practicing. But like right now, it's like you have to play. Like it's not like you missed that high D or whatever, you keep going, and down one, you keep going. That note was sharp, you keep going. Like it's not the time to be analyzing as you play, because it would just be another L, another L, another L. And that's low-key why I hate making recordings, and why typically, I don't know, someone else tell me if they like this, like typically when I make a recording, it's like the first take, I normally cannot get past the first take, especially when it's like there's multiple, you have to play like 5 extras back to back. It's like getting more than one take is like almost impossible for me, because the tape has to be perfect. So you are playing and analyzing at the same time, because it has to be perfect. So it's like doing that doesn't work with how we perform. You can't play and analyze at the same time. I don't know, it's weird, but that's those two things.
Yeah, that's like very similar to like how I think about it too, as in like your mistakes and your brain that tells you that was out of tune, you missed that shift, that all that, it has no place here.
Yeah.
There's no room for it,
right? Because
now all the rest of the notes, and Garrett said something similar to that on the last episode of Trilloquy, plugging Trilloquy, shout out to Trilloquy, about like I got too many notes to play after this to be worried about that one,
right?
You worry. I mean, when you're on stage, I can be in the practice room having that same mentality.
That's what I think about, and like the more I develop my focus, I've been noticing that like I took an audition recently. And I was like, I just kept chugging. I was like, well, that was kind of like, I played my concerto. It started out a little sharp. I'm like, well, girl, you got a whole bunch of stuff coming after that little opening, so you better make it better, because you can't worry about that. But yeah, so let's briefly talk about. I think we touched on it a little bit, like the difference between being confident and being egotistical. this is not something that we come across often. I don't think we come across as often in classical music where people are egotistical because you literally look dumb. It's like, there's so many people who are playing and there's so many people who are playing well. Mm-hmm. You know, like, but I feel like it goes without saying, but yeah, what were you saying?
I think that in classical music, there are like you said, we don't come across it often. People who are just overtly egotistical in the most traditional sense of the word. However, now that I'm thinking about it, people in classical music tend to be. You could say that there's a different word for it, but to me, I think it's manifesting itself in a sneakier way. When people are being egotistical in that they talk about other people behind their backs, or they comment on people's playing when their opinion was not asked for.
Yeah,
they're not intentionally being like, I'm the best, but something in your mind is telling you that you have the right and the audacity, to do something like that. Yeah. Meanwhile, in the practice room, I'm
gonna say, like, I know, like, there was this one kid in my studio who was in there briefly, and I'm just like, I used to hate playing when he was in there because, like, his little comments, like, he'll say stuff like, well, you know what you gotta do, so.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
And, like, let's, I ain't gonna put Eastman on blast, but let's just say not every studio is equally yoked and with, like, the environments. And I am very blessed to be in Miss Taylor's studio. That's all I'm finna say. Because, and a lot of studios be wilding. The people have the comments that they be saying. It's like, you gonna have to meet me on Main and Gibbs because we got to settle this. Like, because as far as I'm concerned, we both go to the same school.
Exactly. And I didn't come here to study with you.
Like, some of the stuff people be saying, like, Mrs. Taylor's studio is very, like, it's like, I really like how you did this, and that was really good, and, like, something you could think about is, because the man that I'm paying buku.
What?
The man that I'm paying buku money. I know it's boku, but, like, whatever. Black people are fun.
Buku.
I say buku because the blacks say the blacks say buku. I know it's boku. Don't come for me. The man that I'm paying buku money for is the only opinion that I really care about. You know, so it's like, yeah, that ego. Like, when he said that, I was like, this ain't real life. Like, I know he did not.
You know what you gotta work on. Wow. Ditto.
Like, work on that personality. Like, what?
For real.
Yikes. Even when I see him, I still cringe. I'm like, ugh, you are, ugh. But yeah, I don't know. Y'all gotta work. Some of y'all gotta work on that. Some we read it. Some of y'all, and that's okay if we are. Just do better. Like,
I was gonna say, and it's the qualifier that we talked about. Is, are you putting in the work? Because if you ain't got nothing to back it up, then what you egotistical for? And you look dumb.
And I'm not. Some people be, I be keeping my mouth shut in the studio because I'm not finna. If I know I'm working on something, like, I know I'm working on connecting my bows, or not connecting my bows, I know I'm working on, like, something to be in tune. I am not. Maybe it's a confidence thing. I'm not finna comment on your intonation. I'll be damned. Like,
I'm not gonna tell you nothing I can't do myself.
You could play that. You could play that first Brahms sonata in F. You could play it in G, and I'd be like, I really like how you phrased that. Sis, I don't care. Like,
because they'll be like, how do you do it? Well, actually, I can't. But
I remember, Miss Taylor about it one day. I'm not gonna say who. A student was like, gave a comment. Well, you're so messy.
No, I'm just kidding.
I actually really like her too. One day a student gave another student a comment, and Miss Taylor was like, why don't you go show her? And I was like,
oh, I remember you telling me about this. And you know what? That would be enough for me. I would never say a thing in studio class ever again.
And Mr. Taylor wasn't like, he knew, Mr. Taylor, like, he just be doing stuff sometimes. He knew that the girl could show her, But it was also, it was like he knew, but it's also a lesson in, like, and he even said, don't say nothing you can't show. Like, he be gathering the girls. It be
take heed.
It be a show. Like, sometimes I should start selling tickets to studio class. But anyway,
could you imagine? He just thinks people are showing up. Meanwhile, you collecting the cover at the door.
There's a $10 cover to get it. But I just can't, like, I'm not in nobody's business. But when, how do I say this? Listen, all I'm saying is I know how you play. And so that's it. Like
Right.
this, I mean, you sometimes you got to stay in your own lane. Like I know that sounds
for real.
terrible, but it's like you can't. Oh, you know what I hate? Oh, we got to do another pet peeves episode. You know what I hate? You can tell when people are in excerpt class, right? Because everybody a Berlin Field section violas. When you taking excerpt class, you can tell the ones who take an excerpt class. Because everybody done sat under the stick of Simon Rattle, right?
All right.
Because it'd be like, and make sure, and then in this measure, I'm like, sis, no, I don't. That's not what this is about. This is not about studio class. Okay. Last thing, how do you remain confident when you get into a confidence rut?
Fortunately, probably don't. But I mean, I don't even know. I feel like the easiest thing for me is just like, this too shall pass. No weapon formed against me will prosper.
But
Like,
you know what they don't tell you when you learn that cute little Fred Hammond song? The weapon will form. That's what they leave out. Like, and I know it's in the sentence, but it's like when you 5, you singing little Fred Hammond, they don't tell you that part. They don't elaborate on that part. It's like
I can, nothing can touch me. Like,
it's not nothing can touch
you. Just not gonna kill you.
Ugh.
You just won't be mortally wounded. You'll be wounded.
Exactly. It's like the weapon forms.
Right.
Anyway, that's not what it's about.
But just knowing that like something's gonna stick, you know?
Yeah.
Something is going to stick. God is not finna leave me out here. I'm putting in what I'm supposed to. You could be like, actually, no. You know? Like,
yeah.
it just doesn't make sense. It doesn't, that won't happen. And that's, I mean, and if that's literally like a spiritual thing, and not everybody is, so that's just what I believe, and that won't work for everyone, obviously, but the God that I know is not going to leave me out here like that. So that doesn't, and of course and I play a part in that. I do my part, he will do his, and you know, that is not, it doesn't make sense for it to not, you know, pass.
Right. I mean, for me, I don't have the best advice on how to get out of a confidence rut, because sometimes you just gotta ride the wave. I mean, one thing I've learned is that like life goes and flows. Even if you're not like excuse me, even if you're not a spiritual person or whatever, like that has something to do with it. Like life is literally like you either riding high or you low. Like that's just how it is. Like there's nothing you can really do to even avoid that. So when I'm going through a confidence run, I feel like I can't play my instrument. Like you just gotta ride it out, you know. Like it just always gets better. Life always gets better. And I know like some people listening to this be like, girl, anyway, like it's sometimes that's hard to hear, but it always gets better. You know, the sun always rises in the morning, and in the worst parts, it's like, yeah, the sun rises, but it's cloudy, so you can't see it. But like that, it always gets better. So, you know, like
especially in something like this.
Yeah, like classical music, like it ebbs and flows. You know what I'm saying? Like some days, like you like I saw, you know, that post whatever with Drew, and it's like someone commented, it was like, you know, like you are like, this is how it goes. You know what I'm saying? Like you are always going to get more no's than yeses, that kind of stuff. And like it's worse when you get 70,000 no's and all. Well, if you get 70,000 no's, it's like, I don't know, but like,
yeah.
I mean, like I was telling Delaney before we started recording, like I made a spreadsheet that has every audition I ever took and its outcome, you know, and it's like the ratio a little off. You know what I'm saying?
Like, then you got too many. Okay, she got too many jobs.
Yeah, if we put in price right on there too, shop right too.
All right. Okay.
Like the ratio a little off, but you know it's like, so when you look at that, especially like when you in it. Remember I was talking to Caitlin one day, my girl. I ain't buying for that. I ain't got time. And it's also a balance, because like sometimes I'm not giving the girls any more of my money. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes it be like that, but like it's gonna work out. It's gonna work out if you do the work.
Yeah, exactly. I was just about to say, at a certain point, because like we were saying that like things will get better. I do think that like that's not specific to classical music, but there are certain things that it's not just going to get better the more you stick it out, but then you have to know when you have to do something differently, you know?
Right.
The biggest thing, that's another thing.
The biggest thing, like I would never tell this Mr. Taylor because I would actually be scared that he would like I might have to dodge something. He's not a violent person, but you know he might be so mad. This man been telling me to record myself playing since I stepped foot in Eastman, right? And I'm like, girl, I know how it sounds. So what's the point, right? So the last audition, I'm like, all right, let me, you know, Mr. Taylor, his stuff hit a little different when you ain't got him every week, right? So I'm like, you know, let me see what this man talking about, right? So I record Beethoven 5, and I'm like, this whole time, this one little part was Russian. This whole time, years and years of me playing Beethoven 5, this one little part was Russian.
Wow.
And it's like, yeah, you keep trying. You in an audition, ask for Beethoven 5, you play Beethoven 5, you play, and it doesn't matter because you stuck it out and you gonna keep doing it. And this one little thing kept Russian. Mm-hmm. What's the point? And it wasn't even no big little thing. It's like you're not holding. This is compressing. I remember that was compressing. This one little part of Mendelssohn also. It wasn't even like it was rushing. I was like, my Mendelssohn didn't even rush. It felt antsy. Ain't nobody want no anxious person in their section. If I just listened to this man and I just recorded it, I could have caught that years ago. You know, and it's like you can stick it out, yes, and keep doing the same thing, or you could try something different. You know, so right. I was like, I might could bring out the machine, you know, and see what the girl's talking about, cause right. It's not like I'm defiant. Miss Taylor is like, I know you hear me, you don't listen. You know, I'm like, okay, like say less.
I just said that to this dude the other day because he, first of all, we're a coworker who was. I'm not going to say anything about him, you know, because I don't know what could get around. But I mean, you know, he's like one of those people. He's nice. He's just a lot. And sometimes it's not at the appropriate times, is what I will say. But we were doing a thing, you know, we're working with kids and you have to learn how to handle sensitive situations. So we have to do this compassionate exercise. And he on his phone when it gets to him. And then he was like, but I heard you. I said, you heard her, but did you listen?
Exactly.
And then he was like, whoa. I'm like, nah, but you weren't listening.
Exactly.
But anyway.
Man, but yeah. It's like.
Meanwhile, you said over here, only an hour and 20.
Girl. Anyway, we gotta move on.
It's been a full hour since we said.
You could tell that we haven't recorded in a while because this is like.
We still have.
But let me tell y'all girls what we not gonna do. That episode of the Rita was like 3 hours and 5 minutes. That's gonna be a smooth and resounding no. That's gonna be a smooth. I'm gonna be like Delaney. Right. We gotta go.
That'll happen if we do another episode with Richard.
Oh, for sure.
Especially if we didn't see him all the time. Could you imagine an anniversary episode with Richard? Oh yeah. Okay, 4 hours.
Right. But let us know about how you build confidence. Let us know how you navigate this field. This field is hard, y'all. Let's share tips, put them in the comments, and we are moving on
to Black Excellence.
All right, this is Black Excellence, where we hype you up, gas you up, and give you your props because there's room for everybody at the top. And we are talking about Jonathon Heyward. It's another Jonathon. This must be a name that you got to name your kids.
Right. You know, I'm a legalist. I'm gonna go right down to the courthouse, the city hall. Tomorrow.
Right, change your name to Jonathon.
Are they open on Sundays?
No, you gotta go on Monday. Okay, so next Monday.
Dang. I gotta you know what, I really hope I remember. So that next week's episode I say, hey y'all, it's Jonathon. I really, really hope I remember to do that.
Right. And it's Jonathon, it's Classical Black Podcast. Okay, Jonathon and Jonathon Podcast.
Oh my goodness!
Because it's about the 57th Jonathon that I know is causing somebody's edges to recede.
Right. So,
anyway, Jonathon Heyward, he's a conductor. He is a Grand Prix winner of the 2015 Besançon International Competition. That sounds fancy. What? I had to put it on my phone, so there's a bunch of accents mentioned. But I'm pretty sure it's Besançon.
Come on.
Besançon.
Pronunciation.
I don't know. International competition. He's also a Dudamel conducting fellow. In 2018 with the LA Phil. Can you imagine studying with Dudamel?
Come on.
First of all, I wouldn't be able to
Right.
study his little cute little face, and he's like so.
All right.
Yo, if I meet him in a couple weeks, I have to prepare myself. Like I'm gonna faint.
Yeah, you'll see him because I think he's conducting the last concert.
Yeah, Julie said she met him. Like I will. I think.
Oh yeah, you will meet him because backstage.
I will
remember he
cry.
was backstage with us.
I've done so much research on Dudamel, and also like when I was like when I'm within my little conducting phase, like we had to like watch conductors. That's a part of conducting. So I watch a lot of him, a lot of my dude, what's his name, the toothpick guy. Why am I forgetting his name? I'm forgetting everybody's name today. Anyway, that's not the point. I love the man. So he did that. He is currently the conductor of the Halle Orchestra. I think I'm saying it right because there's an accent aigu on the E.
Holly Berry got an orchestra.
Okay, black people. Is it Halle? It's the Halle Orchestra. That's what he's currently director of. However, he's assistant conducting there, but he's going to be the chief conductor of. I'm not pronouncing that orchestra.
The person who suggested this specifically requested that you pronounce it.
Is it that dude that's praying on
No,
my
it was
down-
Mara.
Who?
No, it was Mara.
Mara, I got you, Mara. Don't play with
She
me.
didn't specifically request. She said, have fun pronouncing that.
Okay, she ain't come for me directly because I'm like, Mara. Okay. I don't speak German. Okay, basically it's a Northwest German Philharmonic.
Nordwest Deutsch.
Yeah, it's probably Nordwest Deutsch. Northwest German Philharmonic is what it translates to.
Not Northwest German Philharmonic.
That's what it translates. I think Deutsch is German.
Yeah, it is.
Right. Northwest Dutch Philharmonic. He gonna be like, we ain't tagging him in this.
Yeah, let's not.
He's a chief conductor. Chief conductor.
I mean, it's not our fault. You should, first of all, you need to calm down with all that conducting.
First of all, because if you
have
just
to
did
pronouncing so much.
Exactly. Like you got all this accolades. I'm trying to keep up. Okay.
Right.
The chief conductor of the Northwest German Philharmonic. That's beginning January 2021. So my man has conducted a bunch of orchestras. I'm talking about St. Petersburg Symphony, the Basel Symphony, Prague Symphony, Los Angeles Chamber Orchestra, Orchestra National de Lille, Orchestra National de Lorraine. He's also premiered operas with the Birmingham Opera Company, premiered Giorgio Bastili's opera Wake. He's also conducted the Orchestra l'Opéra de Rennes, Orchestra Nationale de Bordeaux, Orchestra de Pays de Loire, and the Orchestra de Chambre Lucerne. Oh my God!
You know what? I feel like he's really got it all figured out because he done left America behind.
You know what? That's what
things.
I can't.
I was like, I'm noticing a pattern here.
It's like, we already did a rant on America. I mean, we're due for another one. Like I was talking to somebody and they were like, they're planning on moving out of the country. They to stay at that. I'll tell you who it is after. To stay in another country, like for the foreseeable future. And I'm like, I support this 1,000% because eventually the earth is gonna open up and swallow America whole. I mean, that's just the only way.
I mean, eventually it'll do it to all of us. Y'all keep this up, so.
I mean, like, let's talk about the ghetto of the planet.
We gotta fly over America over there.
Oh, right. Lock the doors.
Not lock the doors. Her mic done fell.
I suck. And so I saw.
Meanwhile, the poor Jonathon. I hope he.
Right. So you did all this stuff. He's originally a cellist at the Boston Conservatory, and while he was there, he was selected just because he's the assistant conductor of the opera department and the Boston Opera Collaborative while he was there. So big shout out to him. I mean, the biggest thing is that he's the chief conductor of the Northwest German Philharmonic, and that's coming up in January 2021. So he's just really out here snatching edges. Like, I don't understand.
He's adorable.
Isn't he?
Yeah.
It's still 24 hours in a day, right?
You know what?
Make it make sense. That's all I want.
I guess not. What's that quote from Einstein about time being like a concept or something? I don't know. He probably go by that.
Because I just don't understand how are you this sickening? I just don't understand. You did all these orchestras and stuff like that, and I was just sitting on my couch.
It's not hurting.
Right. I mean, shout out to y'all conductors because they don't really look fun. I mean, I did a little bit of it.
It don't look fun. You're annoying.
It don't really. I mean, like, I did like whatever. I conducted like Track 5 at one time, and it's like, first of all, it's hard to conduct because little
Simon Rattle taking notes.
The little sforzando things, those are hard to conduct. First of all, you feel like you're moving a tank because you got to get all these people to do what you want to do. It's not easy. Like, oof, shout out to y'all. I just it wasn't it for me. But we'll link Jonathan Heyward, tag him in this. Maybe also he should listen to other episodes so he knows that we mean well.
Yeah. Honorable mention. Mara, when she suggested this, she also mentioned his curl pattern.
Oh yeah, he got a smooth little like a 3B curl pattern.
Like a 3B, I would say too. Yeah.
Come on in. Right, drop your moisturizer.
I was just about to say your routine, what you use.
Okay, hair care routine.
Right.
What are you doing over there in France?
Listen.
You know what he could use? What? Never mind. This little trifling. But I just feel like we need to team up with like a hair care thing. I feel like if we just got our own classically black edge control, would y'all buy that? Let us know in the comments.
Edge control, some edge scarves to tie them down just before you go into the concert.
Like a scalp massaging oil.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, we need one of them. All right, we've been here for literally it's almost 2 hours.
Okay.
Well, we're 12 minutes away from 2 hours.
Okay, you got a piece of the week?
Yes. Lately I have been listening to a classic, the Mozart Sinfonia Concertante in E flat for violin, viola, and orchestra.
That one?
Yeah.
Okay, I want to make sure because you were looking at me and I was like, how many did he write?
No.
That piece is hard.
My favorite is the Presto movement though. But I remember playing that. I put that in high school. But yeah, I've been listening to that. And
you played the orchestra?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm about to say, huh?
I didn't tell you I had a budding career as a violist.
Not budding. You suck.
But it's too easy, so I switched to bass. Like those people that switch to viola because they think it's gonna be easier to
Meanwhile,
violin.
you sound like a violinist playing the viola, but okay. I thought Peyton got mad at me that one time because I was like that argument I had with him about intonation.
Right.
And I was like, all you gotta do is go do with them 3 little keys. I think the little is what made him mad. The three little valves.
What you know about intonation? It's just A, B, C, and then you just go back D, E, F,
right,
and then G, and then you just keep going like that in order.
And you just blow a little bit hard if you want. You blow a little bit hard if you want to sharpen. You suck it in if you want to flat. What's the problem?
Suck it in. Not even. I can't wait till he hears that. I can't wait. I can't wait for the text that comes in and he hears.
Oh, it'll be live.
Woo, Chile. All right.
But thank you so much for listening to Classically Black Podcast. Don't forget to follow us on social media at Classically Black Podcast. If you have a Black excellence suggestion, email them.
Get in line. No, I'm just kidding. We got a couple of them.
Yeah, there's a bunch. But email them. Jonathan was a suggestion, as you heard. Email them to Classically Black Podcast, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Okay, so you know when you do this often now, there was I think last week's episode I cut it off because it was like it was just.
Well, I'm editing this week, so what we doing? Okay,
it's up to you.
I'm stopping.
You know.
Okay. Okay. Bye for real, y'all.
Bye.